Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Bars podcast. If I was terrified last week about the direction a podcast with Bilko might go, I've doubled those anxiety levels with a 2 for the price of 1 episode. I've got Harley Allen, one half of the BMX Bandits and Freestyle Kings, aka the CPO, Chief Party Officer. And then I've got the racer turned freestyler, Jett Anderson, better known as the CEO of Freestyle Kings or the Chief Energy Officer. Boys, thank you for being here and welcome.
Nope. Thank you, Brownie.
What's up? Stoked to be here.
Hell
What
yeah.
up, Harley? How are we, brother?
Good to hear your voice, Jett. Good to hear your voice.
No.
So I've briefed them in.
Brother.
The safe word is potato. If we kind of go in a direction we need to stop, potato will be the word we use. I tasked you guys with one job of research for this podcast. I don't know if you've done it, but Harley Allen, if you were hosting this episode with Jett, how would you introduce Jett Anderson?
To be honest, I don't really need to think about it, but me and everyone in our crew kind of knows Jett. If it was me, I'd be calling out for Jett Lettuce the Menace Anderson. I'd like to introduce one of my best mates.
I don't mind that. Jett, if you were going to introduce Harley Allen, how would you do that?
But describe Harley as this is Harley who fucking is a committed sender on and off the bike, always has fun and is always looking for a good time. Allen.
Oh, thanks, man. That was way better than mine. Fuck yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
Nah, you both get a pass. So we're gonna really focus on the Freestyle Kings journey for you both, and that's the destination. But the journey to get there, kind of everyone has a different story with how they fell in love with action sports, whether it be BMX, motorbike, skate, scooter, whatever it might be. So I want to just set the table here. Jett Anderson, you were a racer, but how did you grow up with dirt bikes and how did you end up in freestyle motocross?
Well, it all started for me where we moved to the farm that I'm living on now with Dad. We moved out here as a family, Mum, Dad and my brother. And me, obviously. I moved out here in 2004, moved from Curramulka to Minlaton, which is about 15K down the road. We moved to a little property with 5 acres and when we moved out here, we got a dirt bike and that's when I was just about to turn 8, I reckon. And then got that. And then within the first year, I reckon we went through 3 bikes. We had the QR50, which I started on, the Honda QR50, and then went to the KTM 50 and then went to the KTM 65 because I'd aged out at that point racing wise. And then, started off racing at the local club at Kadina, which was an hour north of us. And then, started racing all the state titles and nationals as a junior. And it was always just a family thing to do for us. Like we'd always get the whole family together, travel away. All the racing was always, minimum 2 hours to Adelaide. And then, just sort of kicked off from that.
You don't strike me as a guy who has the discipline to be a racer.
No, I did when Mum was alive, to be honest. Like back then I was pretty straight and narrow. Like I didn't kick off until after she passed away, really, I guess you'd say. But until then it was always we're away racing, My mum and dad were working full-time jobs flat out to be able to fund what we were doing. Yeah, so I had to be screwed on and take it seriously, which I did. And
Harley, what about you, my friend? You're sitting in the RWillyland shed at the moment, so you've kind of got a pretty unique grow up story as well. So hit the listeners with how you ended up where you are today.
Yeah, so obviously, or not obviously, but I did grow up with Ryan throughout primary school and high school. So we started going to the skate parks. Honestly, before school, 5 o'clock in the morning, straight to the skate park after school. And just for years, we just did the same thing. I'd stay at his house on a weekend, would go street riding till 2 o'clock in the morning, up in the morning at 6 again to the skate park. And we did that for many years. And then till the age of about, I don't know, I'd say 17, 18, I sort of had a couple of injuries that put me on hold for a bit. And then by that time, Nitro had established Ryan and sort of he'd taken off and started his action sports venture. And I sort of just went down my own path for a bit, did a little bit of DJing here and there, played in a few clubs in Brisbane. This was going through 8 years, mind you, that I didn't ride for. And then, sorry, the boys out the back pulling faces at me. And then, I sort of, sorry, Brownie.
So RWilly started that journey in 2011. Is that kind of when you put the bike down, basically?
Around that time, yeah, correct. Sort of just, I don't know, childhood things happen with a lot of people. So, I sort of went my own way. Still stayed in contact with, like, Ryan and all them boys for a long time. And then 8 years down the track, I ended up out in the hinterlands on the Sunshine Coast. I won't go into any more details of locations. But, we...
Top secret.
Yeah, top secret location. But, and I think after a year of me getting in that place with my now fiance, Taylor, Ryan happened to have bought the place right next door to me. So that was like, and that point in my life, I sort of didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. And then it sort of all just fell back into place. So Ryan come out here. He just had this big idea of building this place, RWillyland. And that just kicked me back off in the right direction that I needed to be going in forward. Which was good, So that would have been about...
It's cool.
I don't know, I'd say 2000... Brownie, you got more of an idea than me, actually.
I definitely met you at a couple of Nitro Circus parties in 17 and 18, but it was 2019 for sure. 2019, you came onto my radar via RWilly, and we're going to talk about Willie later and how much he has done for the action sports scene in Australia. We were doing a Sunshine Coast show, which was obviously your hometown at that point in 2020, and I came up and Willie said, you've got to get Will Barlow, Luke Berlin, who had already done some Nitro shows before, but Willie wanted Harley Allen and Gecko. Willie was constantly spamming me with videos of you two specifically and how they need to be on the Nitro Circus tour of 2020. And then so we just set up I think it was a fake contest, and of course the four best guys, Berland, Barlow, Gecko and Harley, won the competition, and we had the newspaper come out and do these four local guys are going to join, because Willie at that point is a global superstar, one of Sunshine Coast's most famous exports in the sporting world. And then so we set all that up, and then COVID hit, and you kind of, that opportunity for your BMX career was, I think, snatched out of your hands before you got a chance to get it. And it kind of felt like you're at an age, and then COVID shut everything down. We didn't even know when another show was going to be done. And you just had to kind of, your dream was paused, basically. That's my memory of it.
You're spot on.
I think we were 3 shows into a 7-stop tour, and we had 1 to go before Sunshine Coast, and we'd been chatting, and we were all pretty amped to have the Hill Willies, as you were known back then and still to this day, kind of take over that show. But it did end up happening 2 years later, and I had left Nitro and didn't get to do that tour. But you ended up being on that full tour in 2022, right? And that was your start of your proper BMX career.
I'm pretty sure you were on that tour.
Nah, I'd left. I came down to
tour. I thought I was on a tour with you. I'm pretty sure I was.
Nah, because I did to say goodbye in Wollongong.
Mate, that's what it was. Yep, correct. Yeah. No, that 2 years, man. I mean, everything happens for a reason. By that point in my life, I'd sort of learnt that. So bite the bullet and just kept doing what I was doing.
Yeah. And it's weird. I got you two on together, and then Jett kind of has a very similar story, right, Jett? Because you tragically lost your mum at the age of 17, and then that's when you kind of almost turned into a freestyler, not because your mum was gone, but you mentioned it before, a little bit less discipline, a little bit more fun, love racing, but you don't have to be as dedicated to your craft away from the bike. Let's just say that. Bit more professionalism away from the bike.
Bit more of a
and then you you get a call to go to China, and that's how your Freestyle Kings journey starts. Is that right?
Yeah. So I didn't.
Ni
I
hao.
forgot the end of the first question. Yeah. So I didn't finish it, but once mum passed, I sort of, went on a bit of a like having fun streak there for a bit and stopped racing motocross. But still liked riding my dirt bike. It was still my escape from like whatever I had going on, and it still is today. Because you've got to be locked in so much to what's going on. Like you can't be just out there dreaming or thinking with the fairies. So, and then I was talking to my best mate over Home Nugget, and I've always said to him like, "Oh, I reckon freestyle be sick, just throwing whips off ramps," because I was always a style guy on the motocross track. I always like throwing scrubs and whips and whatnot.
Still are.
And then, yeah. And so then I was like saying to him about it because he had this like sketchy homemade ramp at his motocross track, but it wasn't to any spec at all. It was just like a ramp of some description. And I was like hitting that and doing little whips off it. But anyway, for my 21st birthday, he got a heap of my friends together to put money in, and they bought me a freestyle ramp, and then that's how my whole freestyle journey took off. But I got the ramp, and then I had to build a down ramp for it, so I had to get in a 500 ton of dirt and shape it up with my skid steer, the whole thing, until it was finally jumpable. And then I reckon my downy wasn't big enough, so I was jumping at about 65-ish feet, and then had the opportunity to go to the Pondy sand drags up past Murray Bridge, and went up there, and that was the first time I'd like properly hit 75 and had a go at it. And I rocked up there on my race bike that I used to ride on, like low bars, high set, like full motocross bike, motocross suspension, everything, and went out there and I was hitting it in third gear being a motocross kid. And I was just doing whips, did some knack-knacks, and I reckon I did a double can and like clipped the seat coming back and almost crashed, but rode out of it somehow. And they had a quarter pipe ramp there that day.
That's how you learn
And,
side saddle, right?
some of the... Yeah, that's how I got so good at those, from clipping me feet doing double cans as a young'un. But, and then they had this quarter pipe there, and most of the boys were just like trying to get over it, and I was like boosting it. And it was only a little small trick quarter pipe, but I had heaps of fun on that. So that was sort of me like introduction to freestyle motocross, and then did a few little shows over home and like around South Australia, and then got linked up with Darcy Morris, who rode for Freestyle Kings. And he had been over to China and done a gig over there riding the Circus in Zhuhai. And he got asked to go back over there, but he was pretty stoked with his job that he just got working. So he wasn't like really jumping back in to go back over to China. So he mentioned my name, and then that's where Josh rang me. Never met Josh before, didn't know much about the Freestyle Kings because I was just got into it, and I was like watching Krusty videos and stuff like that because for me back then I was thinking, well, that's like the level of where my freestyle was at. I should watch those videos, but realizing that that was just setting me up to ride like that, which wasn't like in this day and age. It was gnarly as shit happening.
Not much good for a show. Yeah.
And it wasn't much good for my like learning the fucking fundamentals of what to do on a bike in the air. And then so I realized that, flicked it around and started watching, some more recent videos to the time of 2019. So it was a bit of a difference there. Yeah, all the boys. And then ended up going over to, said yes straight away to Josh on the phone. I'm like, yeah, bloody oath, this is the dream, like riding bikes, getting paid in a different country. And went over there on a 6-month contract, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it was insane. I was pretty nervous going over there, heard some stories, but I knew Jordan Sprague, who I met at Pondy, and he's like, oh man, I'll look after you, don't worry. And George is a legend. So I was like, oh sweet, I'm looking forward to that. And went over there and got welcomed into the team very, very quickly and easily, and all the boys were legends and got along with everyone really well. And it was funny because the boys over there at the time were saying, oh, you've got it pretty easy, man. Some of the boys that have come over here have, got an absolute fucking beat down. I haven't really fit in or whatever, but I'm just all about having a good time and, keeping the vibes high. Because if you're not having fun, what are you having?
Exactly.
How
can
hard
answer that
was that
question.
to kind of, it's a great answer. How hard was that to kind of leave your dad behind and take that contract? And, you know, you obviously your mum had passed and your dad's, you know, got you and your
Yeah.
brother. Was that a difficult decision just to sign up for that 6 months in China? Because 6 months in China, I'm 44 years old. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. Nah, for me, it was all like really exciting because it was like, this is where I could, because at this point, I'm just riding bikes for fun still and like putting myself at risk and really for fucking what? Like, because I can go have fun on my dirt bike
you
riding in
don't
sand
you don't ride
dunes
for fun
too.
anymore?
Nah, I still ride for fun, brother. But I've also realized that I can do other things for fun too. You heard of golf?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
But yeah,
this
went
isn't
over
a
to China.
golf. Yeah, so you've gone to China. You're immersed in the Freestyle Kings crew. So what are we now? We're like at the start of 2020, basically, right?
Yeah, I reckon. No, when did I fly
Or
home? I
end of
flew home on
2009.
end of 2019 because
End
it
of
was
2009.
just
Yep.
yeah, end of 2019. And when we were over there was this talk of the coronavirus. I remember, but no one
Yeah.
thought much of it. And they're like, people are
Potato.
dropping dead. We're
Fuck.
like, where?
Because that
Oh.
we won't get into the COVID politics, but that Freestyle Kings China residency show got stopped a few months before COVID stopped the world, right? Because it got hit by the hurricane and the show set got blown up, essentially.
Nah, different year, I believe.
Different.
No, actually, because I wasn't there then. No, I reckon you're right. I reckon that happened.
Yeah.
Don't fact
And
check me
then
on that. I don't have a
you got
clue.
hurt. Yeah, we don't fact check here. We do our best. All care, no responsibility.
Perfect.
You got hurt, right? You had to get home from China.
Yeah, I crashed over there. It was in riding practice of all things, and I just started trying double knacks, which I still don't do today, practically for the same reason. But I went double knack, and then missed the bike and went double knack the other way. So I like quad knacked it, and then I had dreadlocks, and I just cut half my dreads off because I was sick of them. And then my helmet was too big, and you can't buy a motocross helmet in China. I was like, it's not a fucking thing. So my helmet was pretty loose, and then I smacked that downy so hard, my helmet spun around on my head, and the boys ran over. They were like, oh, he's dead. There was people screaming. I don't remember a thing. The first thing I remember after crashing was, I don't remember like the run-in or anything, but I was in hospital, and I was there with Ben Hanna and possibly Luke McNeil, and I'm in there, and I'm sitting there saying to Ben, what happened? What happened? This is 2 hours after. And he's sitting there looking at me like, I'm not talking to you anymore. You've asked this question over and over, but it was like to the point that I could remember. And I was like, no, what happened? And he's like, oh, you're taking the piss.
Funny story on top of that again.
Good times.
He
I had to fly home.
actually
I was
flew his
buckled.
best friend over. Yeah, you flying one of your best friends over, the chick friend over as you were flying back to Oz.
True. Yeah, Pamps. Yeah, we literally passed planes in the air. Yeah, that's right.
So
Shout out Pamps.
you're all set to shout out Pamps. You're all set to so weirdly you're not known to each other, but you're both kind of Jett, you're heading back over to China to kind of really get your freestyle career up and running again after the injury. Harley's prepping for his Nitro Circus debut and hopefully his audition to become a full member of the Nitro Circus. COVID hits, shuts the world down. Like you kind of almost both your career, your action sports career, both oddly was over before it started.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, lucky for us, we've actually got a compound to ride every day, so it didn't really hit us like it did everyone else.
Yeah, you're right. I felt the same too, because at that point you weren't allowed to, in Australia, we had the lockdown and whatnot. So you were only allowed to go around to your mate's place. You're only allowed to catch up in groups at 2 or something stupid like that, whatever rules they had.
Yeah.
But like if you didn't have a compound, you literally didn't have a chance to actually go riding. So, I mean, unless you were just like smart enough to just go do whatever you wanted to do.
I think one of the things I admire about both of you guys, you've always had a great work ethic and kind of always, had real jobs as well. So I mean, Harley, I would call you an entrepreneur rather than a 9-to-5er, but you've got a construction background and Jett swings off a spanner and stuff. How important is that kind of
Tire
balance
levers,
between the
not
wildness of
spanners.
Freestyle Kings, the wildness of a Freestyle Kings tour, and then going back to your day job during the week?
Yeah.
I personally like it because I can go away and have an unreal time on tour. For me, coming from a smaller town, a small area, I work in the service station, which is a Ampol servo, and on the back of that, it's a Dunlop super dealer. Generally, I'm a tyre fitter. Just recently, one of the staff out the front resigned, so I've now moved up to serving fuel. So now I'm behind the counter like, oh, you're on
Moving
pump
up
4,
in the
mate?
world,
I'm
Jett.
just a Twix Spark. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm now working a late shift. I'm a lifestyle guy. I'm not really a work guy.
Jett, you're very easily distracted, as you can see in this podcast so far. Do you ever forget is there a magic button you have to press for the fuel to release?
No, not at our servo. You just go in and you lift your pump up and it'll pump, and then we just trust you that you're going to come in and pay. Is that what you mean?
That's an American
And what about
thing,
you?
Brad.
Yeah, I thought there was a magic button, because what happens when sometimes you put the Bowser into your fuel tank and it doesn't go, and then you give the guy behind the counter a mean look, and then they do something and then it starts going. Not true?
That's
I know what you're talking. Yeah, I'm with you, Brownie.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
nighttime
dude.
servos,
Yeah, they
Brownie.
definitely
That's
do
24-hour nighttime servos.
Nah,
we don't
the
hear.
one down the road from me,
Nah.
I've got to stand there.
I know
and up and
95% of the
press
customers that
button.
walk in the door.
All right. Well, we don't fact check, but I might fact check that after.
I'll
Anyway, that
send
is
you a
such
video
a
of
shit
someone.
story in
I'll
question.
send you a video to Savo when I'm at work of someone rolling up, and just me. I'll video people watch them, and I won't hit any buttons, and their fuel just magically go into their tank.
Riveting conversation. This Harley,
Oh, yeah.
to you, what are you
mate.
what are you doing apart from riding at RWillyland? You've got to earn a buck somehow. What are you doing on the side?
Well, when I first started Nitro, I was doing a bit of importing cars out of Japan, bringing them over to Australia and selling them. But also got all my machine tickets, excavators, steer, and all them. Doing a bit of construction work, and yeah. Other than that, I was doing a bit of crypto recently. That's sort of been my main focus over the last probably 2 years. Yeah.
Are you winning in crypto at the moment? Is anyone winning in crypto at the moment?
No one's winning I mean, yeah, people are, but the market's pumped at the moment, so it's kind of just in limbo. We'll see what happens. But no, the last year and a half, I was making a fair bit of money. Sort of sit back and relax for a bit.
You've talked about, I mean, you're sitting there in the Willy in front of the world first shed, like how important, like you talk about, I actually spoke about this with, I think, JT on a previous episode. You've got Pastrana Land, Maddo's compound and RWilly's compound, I think, is the 3 best action sports compounds on the planet. Like, how special is RWilly? I've been very lucky to go there a few times, and can't quite see the world's first, but anyone who's into action sports knows what goes on there in the top secret location. We won't geo target. How cool was being a part of like the building and setting up of that, and watching, but purely funded by RWilly.
Yeah, it's not many people in the world get the chance to see and be involved in what we are doing here. It's something else. Every day there's something going on. Like today, I wish I could turn the camera around and show you guys what I'm looking at, but
it's top secretness.
You'll have to wait and see. Yeah, but no, there's honestly always something going on here. Like from the start, like with all the excavation work that's happened here, the concrete work, the earthworks of the valley and stuff. At the moment, I've just dug out, I think it's like a 25 meter by 25 meter pad in the side of the hill for a big indoor skate park. So there's just something going on every day here.
Yeah. And Jett, you're kind of the exact opposite. Like, South Australia is not exactly a breeding ground for freestyle motocrossers, and that's with respect, because a lot of that's got to do with the weather and the wind. You spend a lot of your time crafting your trade on your own, in your own compound.
Yeah, I do. For the last since I started motocross, I've had no one to ride with. I've had a handful of people over the last sort of 7 years come over and have a ride with me. But I'm lucky to have a young lad he's Alex Larwood's cousin who rides for the Honda team. He's leading the MX2 Australian motocross at the moment. It's his cousin, and he's got a lot of natural bike skill that I don't think he realised, but he only got a bike when he was about 16 years old, and he's now out here hitting 75 and doing tricks. So that's cool to have someone to have a ride with at least, and it makes it a bit more enjoyable. It's not just me and my dad having a ride. Dad doesn't ride, obviously, but he sits on his chair at the down ramp and loves it. I do
Bottle of
like
wine.
the way.
Two bottles of wine.
He froths it. And like I haven't ridden much lately because the weather's been fucked, and I have got this new love for golf. But I haven't missed too many opportunities that I could have ridden. But the other day I had a ride. It was like, oh yeah, that was unreal. That was great to watch. So he froths it, which almost makes it more enjoyable for me to go have a ride. But yeah, it's hard when you're riding by yourself and keeping the motivation to push the limits. And
Sure.
doing it in your backyard by yourself for really, it's only an end term result when you go do it at a show and you can pull it off in front of a crowd. But when you're at home learning it, going through the hard side of learning the trick, because once you learn it and you can do it and you can do it over and over, it just becomes muscle memory. And then after a while, like after a year or a couple of years or whatever, it comes almost like a dull feeling. Like it's not really like the same excitement or the same adrenaline rush that you would have got when you were like, it was your nervous trick, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's hard to keep on. It's hard to keep on pushing forwards.
Explain to people your hometown, Minlaton, 2.5 hours around the bends from Adelaide. Like it really is. Like it's a 2-pub town. There's everyone knows everyone's business. Like how did you ever think you needed to move from there to advance your freestyle career?
Yes and no, but at the moment I'm pretty lucky to be fully set up here on the farm. I got a little supercross, arena cross track in the front yard. I've got my freestyle ramps. What I've got, like 6 or 7 6 ramps and the airbag, and I've put a lot of time and effort into it. So for me to move, I'd have to move somewhere where I've got a similar or better setup for me to then progress with what I'm doing. But I'm also real lucky to have, I work 2 casual jobs when I'm home. My hours can be pretty, I can make my hours when needed, to then make sure I get an opportunity to ride when the weather's good or something like that. So I'm pretty lucky to have that, be able to have that opportunity. I think I'd struggle to find that same opportunity elsewhere because I'd be like, I'm lucky enough at home, I'm not paying rent with dad and stuff like that. So I feel like I'd just be out of money if I'm moving out.
Yeah,
I
you're
can
right,
still
Jett.
lock down and do what I need to
You're
do
definitely
here.
right.
Yeah. And I like to live a fun lifestyle too, that I like to spend money. So if I go move, it's going to change my lifestyle.
Yeah. If you end up on the Gold Coast, I don't know how well that works out for you.
Yeah, you're right. You're spot on.
Living in this way,
Imagine
you've
the lifestyle
either
up
got to
there.
be working full time or not at all.
Can I live with you?
It's hard to find a job
So
here.
we
Yeah, bro. I've already told you this, dude. You know that.
So let's fast forward to 2023. I think Harley and I basically started the same day at that Freestyle Kings tour, and that's when you guys first meet. So Harley, first impressions of Jett when we get. I think we started in Brisbane.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where it was.
Hey, I'm trying to
sure-
think.
I'm sure we did.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think
It
we
was
did
indoor
Brisbane, Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne on that first tour. So, Harley, you
Yeah.
get the call. Josh Henner, the FK promoter, he wanted to bring BMX into his dirt bike show. So you and I basically rock up to work on the same day. We finally get to do a show together 4 years after we were meant to. What was your first impressions of Jett and his mate Trav? Jett first.
Impressions of Jett. I'm walking in a room. I see this dude with no hair, 1 tooth. I'm like, fuck, who's this hillbilly? Nah.
No, I would have had the hair then, I'm sure.
When me and yeah,
Not
you
much
did,
hair,
but it was not much. It was not much. It was receding. Nah, we met, like, in life, you meet these people and instantly, there's that, oh, we're the same cunt, we're going to get along type vibe.
We're gonna have fun.
Which was good.
And what about you? What about you, Jett? You remember your first kind of recollection? Like, it was a pretty big
I'm
deal for
trying to-
Freestyle Kings to let BMX into his fold, and you know,
Yeah.
Harley was not known to most of those guys, so it was kind of a little bit daunting, I think, for both Harley and I. I was a lot more comfortable because I knew most. There was only a couple of guys, yourself included, Jett, that I
Yeah.
didn't know. But
Actually, half of them boys, I had
Who-
met previously, Brownie, for when I did that. I crashed the moto flip at
oh, that's right, at the
Brody
racetrack.
Carmichael's house. Yeah, I got helicoptered
Yeah.
out. I think Seabop and Megan Hall, Megs was there, and all her friends coming out to watch the freestyle for the first time. And then there's Harley. off
Megan
the
Hanna.
75. Yeah, Megan Hanna. Shit. Sorry, Megs.
Shout
Yeah.
out, Megs. To a
Shout
mum.
out, Megs, to a mum.
Who'd
No,
you
so
roll
I
in
did
that
have
day with
Have
Harley?
contact.
Gecko.
Gecko.
Was it just Gecko and RWilly?
Yeah, it's me, Willie, and Gecko.
Was
That's
it?
right.
Yeah. And I remember
Yeah.
you rolled in. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
'cause-
here's the BMX boys. And then I remember out of the, like, you three, I gelled straight away with you. I was like, oh, fuck, this is dangerous. I just feel like me and Harley can get up to like a
Yeah.
heap of fun together. And
And
yeah,
and
that
that we
basically
have-
come to be straight up true. But yeah, no, I'm
so
stoked.
back around that time, Brownie. That's
stoked to-
when.
Go, Harley.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say around that time was I think Seabot, we were trying to work out how we were gonna make the BMX work, and we had Callum Shaw come out to the compound here, and he had
Yep.
his motorbike, and they brought an ATV buggy out, and we were just doing some trial and error things with the towing system. But yeah, that's how that all came about.
That video of you, that video that you posted just the other day, was that? I can't remember what stadium it was in, where you were getting towed in by the buggy on the side with that solid
I
bar and this little toe strap. That's wild. And I
Yeah.
remember back then, I
Yeah.
remember like once or twice, because Seabop's hooking in that buggy wide open, hitting the brakes, and sometimes
Wide
he'd skid
open.
and hit the airbag, and then he'd hit the airbag and just nudge the airbag forward a
And
bit. Be like,
Push
oh,
the
that's
airbag
unreal.
further away
They
from
were
me.
the days. Yeah, make the jump bigger for you while you're in the air.
Nah, that kind of brought back some memories when I seen that clip. So I'm like, oh, that's worth a post for sure.
Yeah, that was mint. That
we
were the
didn't
days.
much enjoy
What stadium
that.
was that in?
I'm pretty sure it was either Perth or Brisbane, one of them.
Yeah,
Would have been
quick
Perth.
look.
No, it would have been Brisbane.
Yeah, I think it was
Wasn't
Perth.
blue.
If it's blue,
Yeah, well, we
it's
did.
Rack Arena. Oh no, it's Perth. Yeah, it's Perth.
Yeah, the blue of
Me and
RAC.
Jett love the
So-
Rack Arena.
Rack Arena.
Why
Rack
do you-
Arena.
RAC. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes.
Potato.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah, so I'd been working on Freestyle Kings for like a few months before that tour started. So I was really happy to see BMX and finally to like kind of be a part of Harley's journey into riding shows, and it was basically a home show. His very beginning. I met Jett and Trav at that weekend, and I was like, holy fuck, who are these blokes? Honestly, I thought, and it's not that I
still
didn't
remember-
like you, Jett. It was more.
It's not that I didn't like you.
No, seriously.
It's not that I
Let me
don't
finish.
like you,
Let me
man,
finish.
but fuck.
Yeah. I didn't think
You don't shut up.
I didn't think
Yeah.
what you did off the bike was justified by your skills on the bike. Like, you were very fresh. You were still early on in your
Yeah.
FMX career, and one thing
Definitely. Yeah.
one thing I'm really proud of is, how much of a better rider you are pretty much 3 years to the day when Harley and I joined the FK tour. And I think, you've got to earn the right to be that kind of party guy and energy and morale guy. And I think you probably maybe thought you were that guy before you were that guy on the bike. The Freestyle Kings tour and the practice sessions, you must have been pinching yourself to all of a sudden be riding like regularly with Adelberg and Maddo, and
I still do.
your and I still do
Yeah,
too.
I
To
still
be
do.
fair, And how much did that help you progress? Because I do think about like whilst you always had steez and style on the bike because of that racing career and how much you could just throw that bike around for only being a little guy, respectfully, of course. And then to now, like I watch you in practice, you're the first one in gear and out there, and you throw 20 cliffy flips, a trick that won X Games gold, and like you just throw them like they're
in
just a regular
2006,
backflip combo.
I was
now.
riding the 65.
But not too many people have mastered that trick, man. And I just want to congratulate you on, the FK Tour. You're one of the most important cogs because of the morale, because it's not all as glamorous as we make it out to be. Like there is some hard times and, a lot of travel, a lot of late nights and early mornings, but you've just kind of put so much into improving your skills on the bike, and now like I just can't imagine like a Freestyle Kings tour without Jett Anderson.
Oh, thank you, Brownie. I appreciate that.
I think we had a show without Jett and it just didn't feel right. I think you got hurt or something like that.
Yeah,
I got hurt one. I remember. I
that's right,
stayed in my motel room. And remember, Harley, you guys fucking all come around and partied in my room that night just to make sure I didn't feel left out. Appreciate that.
No, we got you.
What a great trip.
Was that when I...
And then
it doesn't matter. Was that when I fell over and hit my head?
Potato.
Was that then was that when I fell over and hit my head in the motel room? You were like ringing Josh and shit, and I come to it. Was
you
that
passed out. Dude,
yeah,
I forgot about that.
Got hot flushed.
What?
Yeah, I was like, I was having a shower and I was like, someone come and help me. I was like about to just fall over.
That's right.
Anyway.
Jett's like, I don't feel too good, and I walk around the corner and I'm like, dude, what the hell? And he just hits the floor. Out cold.
Anyway, but yeah, it's unreal to now be
Jett?
like riding with the to now be when I first riding with like Adelberg and Maddo, Pat Bowden, like Mug, all the boys, because everyone, Clinton, all like everyone on tour that I'm riding with is like I idolize, and to now be mates with all of them and have a good time on and off the bike, and it's just like sort of a dream come true. So when I go away on tour, because I'm coming from such a small area that's like, not a lot happening, everyone knows everyone's business. I love going away and then having a great time and being all energetic and excited about it.
Oi, just pause that thought. There's a little cameo from Willie. My God, how are you?
How are we? Sweating my butt off. Yeah,
how's up there?
Yeah, it's good, but I just had Harley. I don't know if Harley talked about it much, but he was just a test dummy for me for my monster project. And
we have said nothing. We had said nothing. Hey, dude, how's fatherhood?
The best. It's crazy, man. It's like you think life's busy, and then you have kids, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I had so much free time.
Yeah,
it's the best.
It looks like Montpellier was an interesting little trip for you.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. I nearly took a chick eye out, and then I landed best trick, and then it was just full on. But it was it was monumental. I'm sweating all over Harley. Sorry.
Did your bike turn up?
Yeah, the last day. So, which is okay because at least he got to come home. Like I was worried he's going to be stuck in France for another 2 weeks, and then I would have been screwed for this.
Hey, dude, we want to I want to do a full episode with you and the Hillwillies. So let's lock that in soon. All right. You stay safe out there at WillyLand. Mate, you are the man.
Legend.
Good to see you, brother. It's there, Willie. We were so rudely interrupted then by the one and only Ryan Williams. Oh, what a treat, man. I forgot where we were. We were talking about
I totally
Jett.
forgot.
You come from the small town.
Yeah. I come from the small town, so I always like going away, having a really good time, and I can do what I want and come home and it's not common knowledge, which is great. But I'm pinching myself still to be like mates with all the boys, the best in the world riding for Freestyle Kings, and be able to, connect off the bike as well. Because on the bike and riding and having fun's all well and good. But imagine if you were like riding with a crew and you loved riding with everyone, but you didn't like hanging out with anyone, But stoked to be a part of the Freestyle Kings crew where the whole crew meshes as one, and it's not a crew, it's more of a family, and everyone like treats each other like a brother or sister, and there's so much respect in the change rooms, on the show set. Yeah, and that's why it works, because everyone gels, everyone's got the same mindset, everyone's got the same want and will to do better and display the best they can do on the night. And I think that's why, and it's when you were saying about the going from the motocross to the freestyle, I think that's why I enjoy or like find the riding in the rain. Like, it's not something I condone. I would never go do it at home, but to go like, no one's ever pulled out. And if anyone wants to pull out, like, everyone understands, because it's crazy. But when it starts raining and we get to ride, I feel like that just gives you an extra little boost of like, this is sick, this is enjoyable. And like, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy it.
I
went off topic there again.
I'm just getting flashbacks to Mackay 2024, hearing you say that. But what you're saying, like, it resonates with me, because I worked for Krusty Demons for 5 years, 13 years on Nitro, and now the last, I think, 4 years on Freestyle Kings. People ask me what's the difference between them all, and they are same mum, different dad. They really are. But the FK group, like Nitro Circus, behind the scenes had like groups within the group, right? Like, you kind of had the FMX, your Gigana, you had the God Botherers, you had the hard party guys, and then you had the marijuana guys. Whereas Freestyle Kings, we are just in the one melting pot, and the term family is used, but it really is, because you've got 5 Madisons, you've got Ma and Pa, Josh and Meg Henna, Jason Rye Davis. Who am I missing? Todd and Trevor Cook. So like, we literally do.
Yeah, you're missing sound tech and big screen. Ash and Maria and Vera.
Ash and Maria, husband and wife. So you think about like our touring party of whatever it is, 26 people at the moment, and 11 of them are real family, and then the rest of us are kind of, we are like adopted. Action sports is social society misfits, which is why we fit together. And then, I just love how Harley just immersed himself in the FK team. And again, you think about the good times that we've had the last few years of FK. Harley Allen is kind of always there.
He welded his chair to the ground there.
It isn't always good times though, and I know on FK the last couple of years I've had to call both your fiance Harley and your dad Jett from the hospital bed. Like, that's probably my least favorite times on tour. How do you pick yourself up? Like, the tour, unfortunately, the tour just has to roll on. Like, we can kind of wrap you up in cotton wool. Harley, you lost my Freestyle Kings jacket in Adelaide. I still haven't forgiven you for that, but it was really cold in the hospital. Jett set the record for most green whistle toques in Auckland. But then we just have to, the tour moves on, you're hurt. Like, what does that look like when you have to go home injured? And, Harley, I don't know a tougher man in this sport, how you just kind of keep picking yourself up. And
it's not if, it's when and how hard. And I think most of us and all of us understand that. But it definitely sucks. Either having a crash halfway through a tour and not being able to finish the tour, missing shows. But it's the game we play, and we all understand the risk we take and what we're doing. So yeah.
What about you, Jett? How do you reconcile that? Similar?
Oh, well, very similar, yeah. Like, I feel like everyone knows the risk about riding a bike or performing, because like I feel like anyone can ride at home and do their best performance at home when there's no wind and it's, everything's feeling good.
Exactly.
But it's when you're riding, you're doing a show, you're doing your hardest, your biggest tricks at the drop of a hand. You're riding in, different circumstances, wind, elevation with 2 strokes. Like, there's different things that change the way things happen. But I feel like everyone's prepared for it. Well, I know I'm prepared for it. And me personally, when I'm learning a trick, I run through all the crash incidents,
worst case scenarios.
Worst case scenarios is the word I was looking for. You run through every worst case scenario in your head, to the point that if you miss your foot here and you're going to, the way to push the bike away, and I run through everything in my head to the point that it's like, I could write a book on each trick of all the things that I could change my body position, do this. And so I feel like if you've done that and then you go out there and you trust what you're going to do, you're going to be sweet. And if you're not, well, you already know what's going to happen. Like you've already, when you put your helmet on, you already know if you hurt yourself, you already know that you can hurt yourself. You could have a huge one and worse things could happen.
Hey,
but I think everyone knows that.
You're only as good as you can crash.
Exactly. Yeah. And Harley, you're actually, you are one of the best crashers I've ever seen. And that's what keeps someone in the sport longer, is if you can crash and understand the way to put your body before you land on the ground. It then extends your riding time, really, because if not, for example, there's with airbags, I've learned that you can't go feet first into an airbag. That's not an option at all over 75 bike, because for me, having shit knees to start with,
to be able to process sometimes.
Yeah. But I've now jumped off my bike 3 times over 75, and every time I've thrown myself off and then spun myself around in the air and landed on my back just and back slapped, because I'd rather have a head knock than blow my knees out. Yeah, going backwards, slap your head, bounce over the back, and just have a headache. That's what I mean by
you're only as good as you can crash. Some people, man, they'll get into a situation like that and they won't be able to process what's actually happening and what they need to do to get themselves out of it, etc. And it's just spirals out of control.
You're talking about a situation, Harley, where it's less than a second to the trick's not going to work. You got to get yourself in the best.
Oh, one of a second, position. You've already made it.
There's 0.1 of a second decision, the slightest feeling, this is not going to work. How do I position my body right now to get out of this in the best possible way?
So Harley, you're kind of
little
famous.
Bit of a second. That little bit of a second, I feel like you can run through 4 different options in your head to then work out which one you need to do to actually pull off. It's not like you got a 1 or 2 option. Yeah. I feel like there's so many different options and they'll run through your head so quickly.
So I often describe you guys as the smartest dumb people that I know, because you do you do crazy stuff, but it is so calculated, and there is a real science behind it. Harley, you're kind of famous for this battle with the BMX triple flip. I think you're the only guy on the planet doing a triple backflip on a BMX off a wakeboard winch. Yeah. Do you know the moment you pop off that takeoff if you're going to make it or not?
Yeah, 100%. Almost every time I leave that ramp, I sort of know whether I've done the right thing or the wrong thing. And then to clarify if I'm right or wrong throughout the triple flip rotation, I can sort of spot where I am and guide myself in or out, whether I'm short or over rotation.
Yeah. And then so at what point in the triple flip spin are you this isn't going to happen, prepare for crash?
Probably the last flip. That's the very last flip. That's sort of my last chance to see where I'm at before I either fully commit or eject a seat up.
I hate people that shit on airbags. It's probably me biggest
me too.
hate in I remember when that technology was really starting to be perfected, and Travis Pastrana, I think, has still described it best. He's like, the airbags are safer, but they're still not safe. And what sport on the planet has not tried to improve the safety of its kind of talent, right? You think about Formula One and the crash cages, and they can walk away from a crash at 300 kilometers an hour. You think about the GP guys who can slide a kilometer and basically again walk away. Footy players with padding and protection, all that stuff. So we've got Lance Russell sitting on the sidelines at the moment because he broke both his legs. Jett, you talk about how if you don't get your body in the right position, those airbags still hurt, still break people. So it pisses me off when people say, "Oh, they're not tough, they're soft." Fuck that shit.
Yeah, fuck that. I've nearly lost my eye on an airbag. I've split from one side of my face to the other on an airbag. If that was the dirt, man, fuck, dude, I wouldn't be good.
Yeah, it's what are the people
I feel
want?
Maybe if. When you say that, so Harley, you could then go do for example, you could go triple flip to an airbag where the consequences are slightly less, but then you could do that over and over and over until you're doing triple flips off the back of your hand, and then you can go do it to dirt, and you then feel more confident than trying to try to learn a triple flip to dirt. You know, so it's just it's all it's a lot. It's yeah.
You can't.
I mean, it's like that. You can't entertain people with like steel landers anymore.
Fuck. I mean, you can. It's a one-way street.
We'll still do it.
At the end of the day, you have one crash, man, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Don't get me wrong.
think about
we'll
like all the crashes we've had on FK. You guys, I think of the Pat Bowden one a few weeks ago in Ballarat, the Callum Shaw one in Hobart. Like they're career-ending crashes on dirt.
100%.
They're all almost death. And, you know, one of the things that still worries me about this sport is, you know, the CTE down the road, like those airbags, like safer.
Down the road, I think I got it now, Brownie.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
down
you
the
can't
road,
be
down the
diagnosed
road.
with it now.
Back the road 5 years ago.
Yeah, back it up, Brownie.
Do you ever think about that life after BMX and dirt bikes?
I do. Yeah, definitely. I think everyone does, but yeah, I definitely do. I've got plans in place for if or when I do stop and be in that sort of a CTE sort of headspace.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't looked up enough on CTE to know the full everything of it. But like, I'm not going to go changing what I'm doing now. Well, because I've already been doing it for that long, right? So like, if I've already got the effects of it, I'm already fucked. So just keep doing what I'm doing. Try not to hit my head.
I think one of the common themes of like all the best action sports athletes in the planet, most of them would be doing what they're doing in front of crowds at home. Like the money and the fame and not necessarily the fortune, because it's not that lucrative, but what you get out of a live show, you would be doing it with or without that. Is that fair for you guys?
100%. We do it every day here.
We
at
do
Land.
that.
Whether it's just me and Ryan sitting here by ourselves or like a couple of the boys sitting here, we don't have crowds or we're not getting paid to be here to ride. We're doing it because we love what we do.
We talk about, you know, kind of what life after this, your careers looks like, but Harley, I want to kind of ask you first. You've suffered a lot of loss, a lot of suicide around you. How do you work through that? As you know, I think about, you know, Luke Berland in particular, you know, how rough that was. But I think you lost half a dozen friends to death by suicide in a very small period. Like, how do you process that? But importantly, how do you try and get the message out that doesn't have to be the last resort?
Yeah, exactly. At the start, it was pretty shit, you know, obviously. But as you said, it happened quite frequently in a short span of time. And then again with one of our close mates, Luke, and that sort of, by that point, I was sort of at a point with my mental strength of like, I do what I do now for the people that I have lost, like throughout, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, you want to carry on their legacy through your actions.
Exactly, yeah. Carry on that legacy for them, and I know, like, that's what they love to do. Whether it's like here riding the bike or skydiving, because I lost a few skydiving friends as well. So I'll do that throughout my whole entire life, just for myself and for the people I've lost along the way.
Yeah, and it's so important. Like, I think about, like, you know, when Eric Rona passed, doing what he loved, but then Luke and Jo kind of all in a similar time period, and Pat Casey as well. It's just this sport, like the action sports genre, just has, you know, it's almost like death follows it at sometimes, like this cloud of kind of scary death is always hovering above us. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but, you know, I think that Luke Berland, you know, I got to speak at his funeral, and I was so fortunate to be asked to do that, and watching his mum and dad, Kylie and Rob, kind of talk so openly. So I think it's really important that those conversations keep happening. And I know, Harley, you and I have had a lot of deep conversations on the road, and, you know, we can do that. And it's just, it's a really important message. I like us saying, don't worry alone. Like when you share your load, it just becomes a bit easier. And, you know, then we lost Jo.
I do try and push that as well, but still, even like the stuff I have been through, I still struggle to talk to my mates and stuff if I've got problems going on, which it's hard. It's obviously
I mean,
like,
it's a male thing to do, is not talk about it, and you know, it's kind of something I'm quite passionate about. And then Jett, you think about you, like you lost your mum at 17, so you were kind of dealing with that tragedy, and then you know you're seeing all the other bad stuff that's happened. Does it ever make you think, is it all worth it?
I've gone through a little bit over my time, like losing my mum. I'm losing my friend Tyler, who was one of my best mates. We traveled around racing the nationals together. It was me and my dad and Tyler and his dad Andrew, and we'd travel around the same car to the 10 national rounds, and that was like we were best mates and had a great time. And he had a motorcycle accident racing, and then the brain injuries were too bad. They ended up having to switch him off. So that was probably the one that really got me, because I was like, that made me realize that, you know, you never know what's going to happen. You really don't. Like, he had no clue that was going to happen in that race. That sort of changed my mindset on the way of dealing with grief, I guess you'd say. Or just like, you know, you never know when your last day is going to be. Enjoy your life, live it like your last. And don't ever sit there wondering, I wish I should have done this, wish I should have done that, because, you know, you never know what's going to happen. You get hit by a car, anything could happen. And so just I've sort of changed my mindset now, and I realize that everyone is going to pass away at some point. They're either going to watch you pass away or you're going to watch them pass away. And either way, it's going to suck, but there's nothing that's going to stop that.
Yeah.
That's reality. Like,
it's a really cool perspective, which kind of maybe explains your personality, that
it does a little bit, I think.
You drink the well dry every single day. And I want to talk about the fun, the Freestyle Kings fun. You are the chief fun haver. Hat sideways, have some fun. This question firstly to Jett. Jett, do you ever feel pressure, and sometimes you don't want to be the morale guy and the fun haver? Like, it's a hard task to always be on like that.
It's not. It's not. It's really not. It's like, and when we have to have a quiet time, like, that fucks me off. I really like enjoying myself and having like the most fun possible. And like, and I find for myself, when I'm at a show, if I'm sitting there bored, I get pissed off, and then so I'd rather be having fun the whole time. If that means fucking around with the boys before the show, having fun or whatever, getting up to mischief, just to keep the morale high, the laughs going, the enjoyment. I find I ride my dirt bike better than sitting there all day scratching myself, running through the show plan in my head, because I know I can do all of those tricks at the drop of a hand. So what's the point of me sitting there worrying about it all day when I know I'm going to put my helmet on? And as soon as I put my helmet on, you just sort of flick that switch in your head and you just flick over to, I don't even know what you'd call it, but you just sort of flick the switch in your head and serious. Yeah. So I'm
muscle
like,
memory.
and it just happens. Yeah. Muscle memory. So I'm like, what's the point in worrying about it all day when you can just keep the vibes high, have a good time, enjoy yourself, enjoy your day. Then you go ride, you have a good ride. By then, try stop me. Like, let's have some fun.
Even when Jett is down and not keen to go, it's not hard to get him going.
Nah, I reckon every time I haven't wanted to go out, I've had the biggest nights of my life with Harley.
Climb the balcony in
South
Africa and shove the bottle down his throat.
South Africa, yeah, the bottle, yeah.
Yeah.
Harley broke into my motel room.
We were definitely not staying in motels.
Not in a motel. We were staying at Sun City.
We were balling.
Yeah, we were balling.
But in my room, was our room level? And you just like somehow, I don't even know how. You were knocking on my front door.
Your floor
I wasn't
level,
having a bar of it. And you walked around the front, just let yourself in there.
Jumped over his...
Yeah. Next minute, the sun's coming up, and then we're going to watch tigers. No tigers? No tigers. Lions.
No, we went out to the safari. Yeah.
Was that going to South Africa in 2023? Where does that rank in kind of experiences and sports has given you? Ali, you go
Oh,
first.
that's
Probably up there with one of the best experiences I've had with where my career's taken me. It's been, I still think about it now. Like, I'm thinking back, I'm like, wow, man, that's fucking crazy. I scrolled past the videos of the one link she made of all the animals we've seen in the safari. I'm like, what the fuck? That's like movie shit, man.
What about you, Jett?
Which bus were you on that day, Brownie?
Regional South. I was
Which
on the bus
were
not
you on
with
that
you
day?
guys.
Oh, you missed out.
I was on the non-you idiots bus. No,
you missed out, Brownie.
That was hilarious.
Dude.
That was the funniest day.
Dude.
But no, South Africa for me was was an absolute crazy experience because when I went over there, everyone was saying, oh, it's a pretty gnarly place and whatnot. And we went to
Which it is.
Pretoria and
we definitely got into some pretty hectic situations. We got into some sketchy situations, me and you.
We do every tour.
Marcus putting his foot down through the red light when the dude's on the highway.
I wasn't with you then. Yeah, no, it was crazy though. Like over there when they were like, you can't walk around the street. I might have been. I was actually. I remember that. He ran straight through the red light. Well, yeah. But to be over, you just lost my memory then. But to be over there and like we got told to. We weren't allowed to leave the hotel facility. Like, the facility was got like a pool and a bar. The compound, it's like a lock gate compound. Not allowed to leave that unless you're in a group of like 6 or 8 people. And I was like, oh, really? And we went to the one shopping mall. Yeah, they got like the watchtowers with AKs in them and everything. Like, it was, I was like, oh, really? I didn't realize it was this bad. And then we went into that shopping center. And it was like the biggest, cleanest, quietest shopping center I'd ever seen. And I was like, oh, doesn't really look that bad, to be honest. But I wouldn't like to go walking down those side streets over there. Cape Town was sick, though. Cape Town was like top tier. That was unreal because you could do anything.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Like me and, same. Me and Mark went bar hopping on Adelberg's birthday. And he was Labubu and
without him.
We went with him. We partied for him that day. But yeah, Cape Town was really cool because that was somewhere you could walk around the streets.
America and Africa is my top.
Yeah, well, so you got to do a bit of America with Nitro Circus, but Jett, you got to experience America with the Freestyle Kings last September, I think it was. How cool was that your dirt bike got you there as well?
It was unbelievable, just to be with the whole crew that we were with, and we got to go over and watch the Supercross and go see what Vegas was like, and then go stay at Maddo's house for a week and a bit. Like, it was insane to be riding there, see all the places you've seen on the videos over the years. Like, it was unreal. And each day we're doing something cool. Like Harley and Maddo went skydiving, we went riding, we got heaps of cool stuff done, which was sick. And then to go do it all in the like harder freestyle and Temecula type thing was sick. And then to ride the show in America, and I remember I finished the show, I was giving high fives on the fence, and there's this dude hanging over like, and it was Mike Megster, and I was just like, what? Like, dude, this is wild. And I met Josh Hansen and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it's crazy. This is like, yeah, I was taken back by it. I was like, you guys are watching me ride? Yeah. But yeah, it was sick.
I think that's, I think about all my stories and journeys around the world. It's always the things that away from the show that really stand out, the tour or whatever it might be. And I think New Zealand was another example with Freestyle Kings, that first and even the second New Zealand tour, where most of the touring party had never been to New Zealand, and how much fun we had on that tour. Maybe a little too much fun for someone on the last night of the tour, but we might not go down there because I'm yeah, he rides 2 wheels and he's on this call and he has a motor on his 2 wheels. So it was
bugger.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't at the trip. I didn't make it to the air. I think I left my passport or something in the hotel.
No, you left your passport, and you come up to me and
help me, Brownie.
Yeah, my job, like, I'm to a dad on Freestyle Kings, and adult babysitter, but I partook on that massive last night as well. And you come up to
did. That's all right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. Well, I always let it rip at the end of the tour because I don't recover like I used to, so I can't do it every weekend like you guys do.
9 a.m. flight at 10.
Yeah, you come up to me. We're in Christchurch. Like we've just got 30 of us to the airport, and you're like, Brownie, my passport's at the hotel. I'm like, mate, I'm so sorry, but I don't give a fuck.
That's when I realized I'm like, oh shit, like, I gotta sort my shit out here. I'm fucked.
We had that.
But I've got my bike and I've got my helmet.
Yeah.
After party. Yeah.
Yeah, the
They're
AJ
the best
Hackett
ones.
founders. Yeah. I remember because I used to do that a lot on Nitro Circus and Krusty Demons, always just never knew when to stop. I don't do it much on Freestyle Kings, but when I do it well. And we left that guy's house and the sun was coming up.
That was
right,
sun was
time
well
to turn
up,
our
mate.
shirts.
It was
it was turn our shirts inside out. You remember? It was
Get rid of that.
And Jed, I think.
I remember Josh made it out for beers one night after the show, and he goes, "Why is your shirt inside out?" And I've looked down, I'm like, "Oh, I must have been doing something stupid."
How hard is that balance between having a good time and, you know, I kind of talked to Bilko on the latest episode, like how much your mindset shift the moment your helmet goes on. Harley, you first, because you're a good time haver, like not too many people, but then that helmet goes on, and I love the look. I often describe it as the look in your guys' eyes. It's not that your eyes are glazed over, but you're kind of looking through everyone. You've just what's going on on in your head at that moment.
Yeah,
not
you
much.
Pretty much explained it. It's just no, fuck all, Brownie. No, you pretty much explained it. It's just more of
put
like
a light between his ears.
No, I don't know. It's hard to explain to a T, but it's I don't know. It's that point in time where you sort of know, all right, this is what's about to happen. This is what I'm gonna do. Your mind goes over the process of like, I don't know, like the trick. So like when I'm doing the triple flip, that's like that look that you described there. I feel myself giving that look, and it's just like a big build up inside that I'm trying to control mentally. And I'm putting.
What's it? You talk about that build up, like, you know, I've heard Matto talk about nerves being healthy because when the moment you're not nervous, bad things happen. But you've got to back your body and processes. You talked about you mentioned muscle memory. Like, is that kind of all part of harnessing all that when you grab a hold of that wakeboard winch and put your feet on the pegs?
Yeah, you sort of.
Can I ask Harley
into...
when do you like lock in? When do you lock in for your tricks? Like, because I know you do 2 sessions in the FK show. So your first session's towards the end of the first half, and then you're at the first half in the second half. So when do you lock in? Because for you, you'd be standing there watching a few scenes before you've got to go out there and do what you've got to do. So when do you like sort of?
Yeah, I spend like the first.
Is it when you put your helmet on?
Of my show? Yeah, of course. But I spend like the first half of my show fired up because all the boys are riding, the bikes are loud, like, you know what, hyping everyone up and getting them keen. And I sort of thrive off that energy, and then I bring that energy as soon as my helmet goes on, just keep that buzz going, and then just keep that mental nerve controlled in a sense. It's a bit weird to explain, but yeah.
Is it
I put my nerves sort of, and I throw them into like being enthusiastic, and you know what I mean? And I sort of get it back.
And then that keeps the nerves going and keeps the nerves where you will like them to be riding.
It keeps like a happy medium. Yeah, exactly, man. And
is that kind of how you do it, Jett? Tell me your process of like embracing the fear and nerves.
Well, I like to generally we gear up while we're doing our pre-show run through. And we're always having a bit of a laugh and a bit of an excitement and whatnot. And then we're all like, come on, let's get it. Let's feed them. Let's have some fun, pump them up. And then we're sitting in the tunnel before our rider rides out. And we're usually geeing each other up then. Good luck, good show, have fun. And then I suppose from then when I ride out, rev them up. I think from then on, it's just, I'm in the zone. I'm just having fun. But then like for us, because we like we don't do every scene. Like I'm helmet on off for the show. I think I only really G myself up and like have to really lock in for the second half of the show. Oh, actually, no, for best whip, I have to really lock in. And then, and for the best trick and the like last couple scenes of the show, that's like you're just looking through everything, like you're just in the zone type thing.
Yeah, that I get to that point like when I do my second segment, because all the rest of my tricks are almost muscle memory. I know I'm good. That's when the triple flip comes, that's I sort of everything around me sort of disappears in a sense, and I get more of a tunnel vision happening, and that's sort of like when I know I'm about to throw down. I'm sort of like I can hear and see everything still, but it's not there. I'm sort of like
it's not actually going through your brain. You're not really thinking about it at all.
Yeah, straight up. But like when I first started Nitro and I'd walk out and I'd never experienced any of these feelings before, it would ruin me. Like, and I didn't sometimes know how to control it. Like I'd walk out on, I think it was like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, like 15,000, 20,000 odd people at the show, at one of my first shows. And then having that big crowd and all that sort of thing, it smashed me. Like my legs went jelly and like tingly and stuff. And like, my tricks weren't working, and it was crazy. But like after time and experience, learning to breathe and control yourself through that and lower your heart rate, but at the same time keep it at a level like your stuff's gonna work. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And how important, like, I love how you described that, and I had Matto on the Bilko episode talking about that breath work and folks focusing on just the task at hand. Like RWilly must have held your hand, Harley, through that because, you know, at this point he'd been riding in front of big crowds for 12 years.
Yeah.
Like how important has RWilly been to your kind of development as not just a BMXer, but just as a human?
Sorry, I got Dylan behind me pulling faces. He's distracting me. Give me one of them.
Dill Bickle. Hey, dude, what's happening? I don't think you can hear me.
How are you,
buddy?
He said, "How are you?" He's actually water boy at the moment. Thanks, Dill.
Oh, good man.
You'll have to repeat that question. Yeah, what was the question?
Yeah, you go, Jett. See you, Jett.
See you, man.
Yeah.
Don't fall in the toilet.
The question was the influence of RWilly on and off the BMX for you. How important has he been?
Yeah, he's been one of the big keys for my career. He's helped a lot throughout. He kind of like when we grew up, we were how do you say it? We were more like we were best friends growing up, but we were more rivals at the same time. So we would have these times where like he would do something at the skate park that I couldn't do, and vice versa. Then we'd be like button heads or would avoid each other around the park, but we'd go home and hang out after. We'd just have a little rivalry thing going on. So coming back to that for me was like one of the big things that helped me in the positions in live shows. And Ryan can obviously tell like I'm very nervous before dropping in, but getting like that clarification, like just even a hand slap and knuckles, like you got this, bro. He's always there and supporting us, which is sick.
Yeah, I think it's like the best thing about action sports is the camaraderie, and you know, Jett, you come from that racing background where it's you look across to the guy next to you in the gates and you'll kill him to succeed, basically, right? Whereas freestyle motocross, you're all high five and you're in the Matto compound or up at Seabots or at RWilland, and you know it is a sport like none other where you just
it has changed though as well, Brownie. Like back in the day, you couldn't, like all the boys, there'd be top secrets, like no one's coming here, like I'm doing this, no one's meant to know. But nowadays it's totally different. Like everyone's trying to help each other progress in a safe way.
I think now it's like it is like that, but I think there is also like X Games and shit like that. They're still secretive with that type of stuff. But when you're on the Freestyle Kings and you're all trying to help each other to make the show better, the show that we all ride in, the show that we all love and we're all putting our effort in for, like you want it to be the best it can, so you help each other out. Like I love it because I can ask people for tips on so many things that I can't do, or little tricks or helps, like ways that are going to help me try to extend or do something different. Like it's great to be able to ask one of the boys that can do it or have done it before, or even if you can't, even if you haven't done it, you can sometimes stand there and watch it and be like, oh no, I can see that you got to do this, this and this. And it's cool that everyone likes to help each other to make each rider themselves better, so that makes the show better in the overall run.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Agree.
when you talk about asking someone, like you're asking a Robbie Madison or a Rob Adelberg or a Pat Bowden, like how wild is that? You must still pinch yourself, Jett, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's living the dream, basically. Like honestly, riding with all these boys, being mates with all the boys, and it's a dream come true for real.
What's
Yeah, it is.
whose idea
It
was
is.
the crossover?
Oh,
Yours.
I think so.
was it?
I think I remember saying something about it.
Harley's
I
put
remember
his
like
hand
on the
up.
first day we were doing it. I remember we were
I'm
like,
trying to think.
you should try jumping. Did you say to me like, fucking, you should try fucking go crossover?
You
and
should
then
go
next minute it was a couple
crossover.
of us,
I
and we're
remember
like,
saying
we should
that.
do it.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
in NZ. Yeah, because that's the day
Yeah.
me and you jumped tandem, I think, as well, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, side by side.
Palmerston
Yeah.
or New Plymouth. It was
New
the
Plymouth.
yellow seat. Yeah, it was the yellow seat stadium. I think it was New Plymouth. I think it was the night, one of the days when I tried to put Jett in his hotel room because he was being loud
Yeah,
and obnoxious,
right.
and he told me to fuck off. I was
Yep.
like, oh,
Oh, I
mate.
do remember that. I'm
Mate.
sorry, Brownie.
I was like, mate, you can tell anyone. I'm probably not the best person to tell to fuck
I'm
off, but I am also
Yeah.
annoyed. Yeah.
I'm
It's-
so
it's-
sorry.
It's really hard sometimes for me because like I'm obviously not a rider, but I've made all the mistakes off the bike. Like I've done, I've served bad behavior suspensions on Nitro Circus, like got missed out on tours because of, having too good a time. So it is a bit of an uncomfortable feeling when I'm trying to put people in their hotel rooms when, I'm also a week later out with you till 7 a.m. So it's a bit of a contradiction. So telling me to fuck off is probably not the worst thing you could do.
To be honest, I don't even remember it. I remember the next day someone saying, have you apologized to Brownie yet? And I said, for what? And they're like, you don't remember? I'm like, remember what? They're like, you told him to fuck off and this, that, and the other. I was like, oh, I don't have any recollection of that. I remember walking
There was
over
a bit-
apologizing for something I didn't really know I did. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm sorry though. Been told I was a dickhead.
There was a
Didn't you
bit going
spew
on
all
that
over
night
him too?
because there was a couple of other things with potato. I'll just potato myself. But then, there was a strangling incident between two tour members.
Oh my God.
Stuff. We can laugh about it now, but like, God, we've
Is
done
this the
some
night
dumb
Jett
shit,
spewed on
but-
you too?
No, that was
the
the last one in New Zealand. And I lost my jumper
That
and
was
the
the
next
first-
day. I was like, Brownie, where's my vape?
Yeah. No, you didn't lose your jumper. I threw your jumper in the
In
bin.
the bin.
Because
I know.
because I caught you spewing it in the hotel lobby.
The days.
Oh, man.
Thank God we're past that.
Yeah.
It
I'll
goes...
see you in Cairns next
goes-
weekend.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
remember
it goes back to my point where I think like the best memories, like the show stuff and what we do for the fans is so amazing, but it's the stuff that we do and it doesn't have to be drinking and partying either, by the way.
No.
Like you think about the South African safari or playing golf in where Lord of the Rings is filmed and archery and whatnot. But we've had 6 weeks off between the first half and second half of this current tour. How excited are you guys to get back on the road?
Can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited.
so pumped up.
wait.
I've been in Minleton a bit too long, I reckon. Can't fucking
What's
wait.
your
It's gonna be
favourite
so
part
good.
of a Freestyle King show that you don't do?
That I don't do.
Yeah, that you get to watch. Jett, you go first. The favourite thing to watch in the Freestyle King show.
Well, I love watching BMX, but I don't really get to watch it because I'm doing the
The winch.
winch. So
The
like,
winch bit.
yeah, I'd sort of get to see it. The winch bit, yeah. But I like watching Next Gen, I suppose. I feel like that's sort of the where I want to be. If not, I love watching the Matto boys ride. I reckon that's sick.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, what
revving them
about
up
you,
when they're
Harley?
turning the corner, revving the boys up.
Yeah, for me it'd be the mini Matto. That's one of the highlights. And then obviously we've had times where Clint Moore did the 720. We got Pat doing
Yeah.
double flips. So they're key moments for me that I sort of always look forward to.
Yeah, I think it's like asking someone who their favorite child is because there's so many moments in every
Exactly.
show. Like it's a scripted show, but it often goes off script. Like I've loved, like I said it earlier, like
Yeah.
Jett Jett's improvement, and when he throw, like, he doesn't always nail that cliffy, like it's not a perfect trick for him yet, but when he does, like you just know the night after this show is going to go ham.
Oh yeah.
I always have a soft spot for the BMX because, you know, that was something that I pushed Josh to look at, and he's kind of perfected that art. And, you know, between Ellie and Harley and then Jed Milton bombing in and out every now and then. So they're my people. But I'm the same as you, Harley. I think the Mini Mattos is just, especially as a dad, like I get goosebumps just talking about it, let alone when it happens.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
it's just,
I see the look in Matto's eyes, like when one of his boys accomplished something, and you sort of look over to Matto, and you can tell that look in his eyes. He's actually a very, very proud dad. Cool.
Yeah, it's mad. Like you think about, like he's got 2 sons, just about the only kids in the world doing it in front of a crowd regularly, and then Matto, like himself, he thrives on the energy of people like you two, and all of a sudden, old bones Matto at 44 years old is throwing super indie flips, and he can't even touch the sky with one of his arms. His shoulders that beat up, but it kind of says all you need to know about the FK crew. I reckon you're talking about how tight knit we are and how much fun we have. What's your least favorite thing about touring, if there was one?
Oh, it's definitely
Harley, you go
flight
first.
home.
Yeah, it is the flight. Yeah, you chopped me hard. It's the flight home. It's all the travel, to be honest. I hate flying, like unless like we've got injuries. Most of us do leg injuries, so flying and traveling and sitting on a plane sucks for all of us.
Travel days were always the days that gave me the most anxiety. Recipe for trouble every day, particularly if we have lounge access and access to
free beers and
alcohol at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I feel like if we're all flying as a team together, I feel like they're the ones to watch out for.
I feel like that'll
South
probably
Africa.
never happen again.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to think why, but yeah.
I was questioning all my life decisions when that South Africa stuff happened, and I
oh hell yeah,
woke up to what we woke up to. But I'm going to potato myself right there.
Same, yeah. Thank you.
Hey, Harley, you're engaged now. Is that top secret, or is that well known?
No, it's not top secret. I was just pretty slick with it. I didn't really post much about it, but it was on New Year's. I popped the question.
And one of the things I love a lot of things about you, but you regularly bring your fiance Tay on tour. Like, how important is that to you? Like, and it doesn't stop you from having a good time because she equally likes a good time. How important is that to kind of be able to share that? Taylor definitely likes to party too. How important is that to, you know, bring her where you can, and you know, kind of, I wouldn't say keep you grounded or keep you well behaved, but I think it's just gives you a good energy and a good
helps
vibe.
Drive the train off the
helps keep the train on the tracks, does it though?
Stuff like that. Nah, to be honest, it's good. It's sick. Like, I'd love to have her on tour a lot more. Obviously, a lot of, like, same with the other boys, but she works a full-time job, and it's hard for her to get time off work and travel full-time with us. But when she can, she's stoked to be on the tour with us.
She coming to Cairns?
And Jetty, you had your...
Nah, I think probably Rocky. Is it Rocky? Mactown. Yeah, Mackay.
Mactown and Rocky. Jet, and what about you? You've had your dad pop in and out of a couple of shows. How cool is that to share that with your old boy? Not that he remembers.
Big news release.
Shit.
Dad's 67th on the 8th of August, which is our Rod Laver Arena show. So I booked him flights and accommodation. He's coming to turn one on with us in Melbourne. So I can't wait. That's going to be huge. But nah, he's excited for that. But I love it. But he also loves just watching me ride at home and hearing the stories when I come home too. He doesn't want to be sort of there and, like, you know, getting in the way or anything. He likes to just sit in the chair and not be down in the change rooms and whatnot. But it'll be cool to get him over to Melbourne and get him all a part of the action, get him having some fun.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hard to twist an arm, I don't think.
And I couldn't ever imagine
couldn't imagine taking my
dad on the Crusty Demons tour, but
Yeah.
it is cool that you can
Exactly.
you can
He's got
share
a
that.
king room too, so that might be the party room.
God. I'll make sure to avoid that floor. Can't really avoid any floors at that hotel because it's all accessible by stairs.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks for letting me know
Well,
that. Now.
boys, I just wanted to say thank you for today. Absolute pleasure watching your guys' journey on the bike, but more importantly, your development as humans off the bike. I think that's my favorite part, and I love you both very dearly. And don't ever change. Just maybe be a little bit better at the late nights in the hotel, or don't actually. Fuck it, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But
We will.
Absolute pleasure, kind of showing the other side of you boys. You're fun, but you're serious. You're smart, but you're dumb. But overall, you're just great humans.
I'll take that.
We don't say the C word. I'll use me quack in post to get rid of that.
How many quacks are we going to use?
No, I think not as many as Bilko.
Yeah,
that's good. You did all right.
Thanks for coming on, fellas.
Thank you, Brownie. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brownie, for giving us a platform to have a yarn on. It was good fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Cool, man. I think it's really important that we have those hard discussions. So I appreciate your kind of raw, unfiltered honesty, because that's what this project was going to be about. Like, you guys are real humans with real feelings. You just have a superhero talent.
I forgot I named this podcast, Brownie.
You did. I do. Credit where credit is due.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Harley Allen not only created the crossover, he most definitely gave me the Behind the Bars name. So if this thing ever turns into a money making machine, I will be sure to give you a share of first profits.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Harley, you get back to RWillyland, and Jett, you get to Ampol. Thank you, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love you guys.
Thank you, Brownie. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, Brownie. Have a fucking mad time. See ya.
You.